Let's go ahead and create a new world though. Okay, so most of these settings we're not going to change. Some of the things to think about, again, if you have a weaker computer, you might want to switch it down to small. If you have a pretty good computer, you might be fine with a large world. We're going to leave it on medium. History length. They've made improvements to how fast history gets rendered in this game. In Dwarf Fortress, in case you haven't heard, it's incredibly detailed and incredibly in-depth. So like every single person that lives gets their life actually simulated in the game. No joke. That actually happens. It's a little insane. But what happens is as the year length gets longer here in this selection of when you want the start date to be, there's so many people that it really starts to slow down the game. There's also other issues because as time goes on, there's more people. They populate the world more, and then there's less embark locations. There's also legendary monsters that are spawned at the very start of time. Those will die over time. And instead, what you'll end up facing more of is things like werewolves and vampires as you increase the history length. And werewolves and vampires and stuff are actually pretty annoying in this game. It's very hard to deal with. I'd rather fight legendary creatures, to be honest with you. Rest of these, beasts and savagery you could turn down if areas being generated are too difficult. Civilizations and sites, I'd probably leave those the way they are. And mineral occurrence, I think in Classic is set to just frequent. And in Steam, it's on everywhere. This is just how common minerals are defined, which can make things easier. So we'll leave it on everywhere. It's also a detailed mode, but it's like super detailed. Like you have to actually know like what all the numbers mean and how to change them. We are not going to mess with that. I've never messed with it. I don't know how to do it. So let's create a world. Now creating a world can take time. It's much faster in the Steam version than it used to be. But again, if you have an older computer, it's going to take longer. That's why you might want to change the time scale and everything. As you can see, mine's ripping through it pretty quick. It's also showing you some of the major events that have happened. And we're already to year 100. I could probably set for my computer like 250. Also, a medium world might be smaller in here than it was in the original one. I'm not exactly 100% sure.